No matter how you choose to live your life, there will always be people out there who will try to oppose you. Now, it doesn't matter how kind you are, how good of an impact you have on this world, there will always be people out there to try to bring you down. And it may not be as malicious as them having this intent to try to ruin your life. But regardless, there are going to be people who their world is dark, their world is miserable, so they will try to bring you into that. And so what people do is they will project their inner world onto you. And sometimes this can feel very personal because they project their reality onto you. But as men, we must recognize that regardless of how people speak about you or treat you, what's most important is that you maintain your integrity and your dignity as a man by not degrading yourself to their level and keep moving forward with whatever you're doing anyway. A key skill that a man must have is non-reactivity, which means regardless of how other people treat you, regardless of whether they mock you or insult you or criticize you, you must keep moving forward anyway. And obviously this is easier said than done, but this is where true strength is found, when you are so convicted and you have this peace inside of you to know that regardless of what other people think of me, I'm just going to keep moving forward anyway. But regardless of what mindset you have, there are going to be times where what someone says or what someone does, it gets under your skin a little. Because ultimately we are human beings, and even when we say, oh, I don't care about what other people think, we are wired to care to some degree. Now, obviously you can train to not care as much, and I think that's obviously a good thing, especially people's opinions who they clearly don't want the best for you anyway. But regardless, sometimes what people do to you or what people say about you, it can get under your skin. And the only way for you to respond is by first regulating your own emotions and then choosing to respond with integrity. Right? So maintaining your values and your standard and not falling to their level. And this is just so essential and so central to masculinity, is learning to maintain your composure in the face of adversity. And so when you have these enemies in your life, the best way to respond is by maintaining composure and responding in a way that upholds your integrity. So what does this look like? Let's say that you're like on a train or something, and someone starts insulting you. Let's just say he's drunk, and he's just making mean comments about you. A lot of these boys, and again, I call them boys because of how they react. They will start to get all flustered, and then they'll just retaliate, basically. So someone says, "Oi, you know, you're a loser," or something like that, right? And then they'll be like, "No, F off you, dog," and all this sort of stuff. But that isn't what masculinity is about. A masculine man will be able to see that this man is obviously drunk and that he is immature, and you'll be able to realize that, well, he's just trying to fight with someone. So me retaliating is just going to make things worse. So instead, what you do is you stay calm, and if possible, try not to even engage in the situation at all. But if you have to, you just speak in a calm yet firm way that you're not wanting to engage in this. And sometimes your back will be against the wall and you will have to defend yourself, sure. But the main point of this message I'm trying to get across is that we must not descend to the level of others. When others try to bring you down, whether in their words or even in their actions, maybe someone slanders you or they betray you or something, you must still maintain your composure, maintain your integrity, maintain your character. Because the worst thing you can do is to lose yourself in a heated moment and then later regret not responding in a way that was actually in line with who you are. Because in life, if you picture a moment that would really tick you off, the most masculine version of you would be able to face that and not be overwhelmed, not have external things change who he is, right? And this is where internal strength comes from, is being able to be calm and not needing to react when you are faced with when you're faced with external pressure. So in life, you'll have enemies. You'll have people who want to oppose you, because ultimately in life, people, their perception of the world is very dark. It's very broken. And a lot of people are like that. They go through the world carrying this depressive, angry sort of mood, and then they will try to put that onto you. And it's not fair, of course, but we must develop the skill and the trait within us to not feed that fire with fire, basically. So when you go through your life, you will be met with these type of people. And the most masculine version of yourself will be the one who can see that and who still doesn't fall to their level. So this is something that you have to think through for yourself is, in what circumstance would I be tempted to lash out? Maybe it's a situation you're going through at the moment and you feel like just responding, reacting in a way that wouldn't really align with who you are, but you still just want to. You still just want to show them, that I'm not willing to put up with this. But that's not how you're supposed to handle this. You have to handle it with a sense of maturity, knowing that even though what they are doing to me is wrong, I'm still going to respond in a way that's reflective of who I am. Because I'm telling you, when the emotion dies down and you look back on the situation, you will never be proud of lashing out against someone. On the contrary, you'll always look back with gratitude if you responded in a way that uplifted your values, that was in line with who you really are. And that comes from being able to stay composed in the moment and not feeding fire with fire, not reacting in a way that your ability to handle the situation, when you're going through a high state of emotion, you're not going to be able to respond in a way that's reflective of who you are. So as a man, you must learn to regulate that emotion and then later respond with calmness and with this level of firmness that upholds your integrity. Right, so I just wanted to get that message out to you, because you will go through seasons in your life where people will oppose you, where people will try to bring you down, they'll mock you, they'll insult you, they'll make fun of you. But you as a man, you must keep going forward in one direction, in line with your mission. And when you are faced with a circumstance that you have to deal with, you just have to maintain your composure and communicate with calmness but strength that you are focused on your mission, and you're not here to engage in drama. You're not here to match their level, and you just keep moving forward anyway. So I hope this message hits. If you like what I said, my channel is dedicated to helping young men to become men of strength and honor. And so if you like what I said here, this channel is perfect for you. So subscribe, give the video a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.